Hello everyone, my name is Ayşenur.
My name is Nurgül.
Welcome to our audiobook. Today I will introduce one of the most important writers of the 20th century, Ernest Hemingway. Hemingway was an American novelist and short story writer, famous for his simple and clear writing style. He was born in 1899 and became one of the most influential authors in modern literature. In 1954, he won the Nobel Prize in Literature. One of the most distinctive features of Hemingway's writing is his use of short sentences and minimal description. This style is often called the iceberg theory. According to this idea, the deeper meaning of a story is not directly stated, but hidden beneath the surface. Readers must understand the emotions and themes through subtle details. Hemingway often wrote about themes such as loneliness, relationships, war, and human emotions. His characters usually struggle with inner conflicts rather than external events. The short story Cat in the Rain is a good example of his style. It focuses on a married couple staying in a hotel in Italy. Although the story seems simple, it explores deeper themes like emotional distance, desire, and isolation. In this audiobook, I will read the story clearly and expressively,
And then I will provide a short activity to help you understand it better.
Cat in the Rain by Ernest Hemingway. There were only two Americans stopping at the hotel. They did not know any of the people they passed on the stairs on their way to and from their room. Their room was on the second floor facing the sea. It also faced the public garden and the war monuments. There were big palms and green benches in the public garden. In the good weather, there was always an artist with his easel. Artists liked the way the palms grew and the bright colors of the hotel facing the gardens and the sea. Italians came from a long way off to look up at the war monument. It was made of bronze and glistened in the rain. It was raining. The rain dripped from the palm trees. Water stood in the pools on the gravel paths. The sea broke in a long line in the rain and slipped back down the beach to come up and break again in a line in the rain. The motor cars were gone from the square by the war monument. Across the square in the doorway of the cafe, a waiter stood looking at the empty square. The American wife stood at the window looking out. Outside, right under their window, a cat was crouched under one of the dripping green tables. The cat was trying to make herself so compact that she would not be tripped on. "I'm going down and get that kitty," the American wife said. "I'll do it," her husband offered from the bed. "No, I'll get it." The poor kitty out trying to keep dry under a table. The husband went on reading, lying propped up with the two pillows at the foot of the bed. "Don't get wet," he said. The wife went downstairs and the hotel owner stood up and bowed to her as she passed the office. His desk was at the far end of the office. He was an old man and very tall. "Il piove," the wife said. She liked the hotel keeper. "Si, si, signora, brutto tempo." "It is very bad weather." He stood behind his desk in the far end of the dim room. The wife liked him. She liked the deadly serious way he received any complaints. She liked his dignity. She liked the way he wanted to serve her. She liked the way he felt about being a hotel keeper. She liked his old, heavy face and big hands.
Liking him, she opened the door and looked out. It was raining hard. A man in a rubber cape was crossing the empty square to the cafe. The cat will be around to the right. Perhaps she could go along under the eaves. As she stood in the doorway, an umbrella opened behind her. It was the maid who looked after their room. "You must not get wet," she smiled, speaking Italian. Of course, the hotel keeper had sent her. With the maid holding the umbrella over her, she walked along the gravel path until she was under their window. The table was there, washed bright green in the rain, but the cat was gone. She was suddenly disappointed. The maid looked up at her. "Ha perduto qualche cosa, signora?" "There was a cat," said the American girl. "A cat?" "Sì, il gatto." "A cat," the maid laughed. "A cat in the rain." "Yes," she said, "under the table." Then, "Oh, I wanted so much. I wanted a kitty." Then she talked English. The maid's face tightened. "Come, signora," she said. "We must get back inside. You will be wet." "I suppose so," said the American girl. They went back along the gravel path and passed in the door. The maid stayed outside to close the umbrella. As the American girl passed the office, the padrone bowed from his desk. Something felt very small and tight inside the girl. The padrone made her feel very small and, at the same time, really important. She had a momentary feeling of being of supreme importance. She went on up the stairs. She opened the door of the room. George was on the bed, reading. "Did you get the cat?" he asked, putting the book down. "It was gone. Wonder where it went to," he said, resting his eyes from reading. She sat down on the bed. "I wanted it so much," she said. "I don't know why I wanted it so much. I wanted that poor kitty. It isn't any fun to be a poor kitty out in the rain." George was reading again. She went over and sat in front of the mirror of the dressing table, looking at herself with the hand glass. She studied her profile, first one side and then the other. Then she studied the back of her head and checked her neck. Don't you think it will be a good idea if I let my hair grow out?" she asked, looking at her profile again. George looked up and saw the back of her neck, clipped close, like a boy's. "I like it the way it is." "I get so tired of it," she said. "I get so tired of looking like a boy." George shifted his position in the bed. He hadn't looked away from her since she started to speak. "You look pretty darn nice," he said. She laid the mirror down on the dresser and went over to the window and looked out. It was getting dark. "I want to pull my hair back tight and smooth and make a big knot at the back that I can feel," she said. "I want to have a kitty to sit on my lap and purr when I stroke her." "Yeah?" George said from the bed. "And I want to eat at a table with my own silver, and I want candles. And I want it to be a spring, and I want to brush my hair out in front of the mirror, and I want a kitty, and I want some new clothes." "Oh, shut up and get something to read," George said. He was reading again. His wife was looking out of the window. It was quite dark now and still raining in the palm trees. "Anyway, I want a cat," she said. "I want a cat. I want a cat now. If I can't have long hair or any fun, I can have a cat." George was not listening. He was reading his book. His wife looked out of the window where the light had come on in the square. Someone knocked the door. "Avanti," George said. He looked up from his book. In the doorway stood the maid. She held a big tortoise shell cat pressed tight against her and swung down against her body. "Excuse me," she said. "The padrone asked me to bring this for the signora." And that concludes our reading of Hemingway's Cat in the Rain. But don't go just yet. To really dive into the layers of this story, we've prepared a short reflection workshop for us. First, Let's look at some key vocabulary that Hemingway uses to set the mood. I'll give you a word and we will match it with its deeper meaning. Take a look at the part A. You have 1 minute. If you need some time, you can pause the video. Let's look at the first one, glistened. This word describes the war monument in the rain. It is used to contrast the clean outdoors with the stuffy indoors. The second one, compact. Hemingway describes the cat trying to make herself compact to stay dry. This suggests a sense of being contained or restricted. The third one, dignity. This is used to describe the hotel keeper's professional and physical presence. The fourth one, padrone, an honorific for the hotel owner that denotes not just ownerships but a paternalistic authority and old-world respect. The fifth one, momentary. This describes the wife's brief feeling of supreme importance. It highlights the fleeting nature of her whims and connections. Now, let's test your intuition with some true or false statements. You have 1 minute. If you need more time, you can pause the video. Let's look at the answer together. The first one. The setting serves as a microcosm of isolation, with the sea and garden being inaccessible due to the rain. This is true. The rain makes the sea and garden inaccessible, trapping the couple inside. The second one. George's offer to retrieve the cat is a genuine display of chivalry and active concern. And that is false. While George offers to do it, he remains propped up on his pillows reading, showing passive indifference rather than active concern. The third one. The padrone's attentiveness toward the wife serves as a foil to George's passivity. This is true. The hotel keeper's desire to serve her and his immediate action in sending a maid contrast sharply with George's neglect. The fourth one. The disappearance of the cat when the wife arrives symbolizes the elusive nature of her desires. This is true. When she reaches the spot, the cat is gone, leaving her suddenly disappointed and highlighting how her needs remain unfulfilled. The fifth one. The wife's desire to change her physical appearance reflects a deeper yearning for a stable identity. This is true. She is tired of looking like a boy and wants to grow her hair out to feel something solid and personal. To wrap up, let's look at the deeper choices in the story. Circle the letter of the best answer for each question. You have 10 seconds for each question. The first one. What does the war monument in the garden most likely signify in a C1 literary context? In this context, the war monument, it signifies the lingering presence of past trauma and somber atmosphere of post-war Europe. The second one. The American wife's reaction to the padrone is described through a repetitive list of qualities. What does this stylistic choice reveal? When the wife lists why she likes the padrone, it reveals a desperate search for solid and serious qualities she finds lacking in her marriage. The third one. Analyze George's behavior throughout the story. His act of reading serves primarily to establish a metaphorical wall between him and his wife's emotional needs. Even when she expresses her desires, he stays detached, eventually telling her to shut up. So that's the B, the right answer. The fourth one. When the padrona sends the maid with an umbrella, what is the effective result for the wife? When the padrona sends the maid with an umbrella, the wife feels a sense of being seen and protected, which actually intensifies her internal conflict. The fifth one. The ending of the story, where maid brings a big tortoise shell cat, is famously ambiguous. A C1 interpretation might suggest the arrival of big tortoise shellcat is a gesture of care that George failed to provide, proving that it does not matter if it is the same cat or not. Thanks for listening and analyzing this text with me. Until next time, see you.